Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back when breaking down the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis showdown. He called Tank one of the most dangerous fighters of this generation, an explosive knockout machine with razor-sharp instincts, elite timing, and vicious power that can end a fight in seconds. Stephen A. admitted Jake Paul has size and reach, but he made it clear, physical gifts mean nothing when you're standing across from a world-class technician like Tank. He warned that Jake's athleticism won't save him once the bell rings. Against Gervonta, one mistake could turn the fight into a harsh, unforgettable lesson in pure boxing reality. According to Stephen A. Smith, Gervonta Tank Davis is one of those rare natural fighters whose reflexes, timing, and punching power place him among the sport's elite. He acknowledged that Jake Paul's size advantage could give him a chance to land something big, but warned that if Tank controls distance and timing, the fight could turn one-sided fast. In his frequent segments, Stephen A. cautions Jake that arrogance might be his downfall. Size means nothing when you step in with a polished knockout artist who lives off precision and destruction. Stephen A. Smith has made it clear that he doesn't view Jake Paul as just an internet celebrity throwing punches for clout. He respects the fact that Jake has trained with real coaches, built proper camps, and consistently put in the work. By those standards, Stephen A. admits Jake is acting like a professional. But he argues that simply behaving like a pro isn't enough. Now is the moment for Jake to face real boxers, fighters his age, his size, active and credible in the sport. According to Smith, only that level of opposition will prove whether Jake is ready to leave the sideshow behind and earn true respect in the traditional boxing world. Stephen A. Smith has pointed out that Jake Paul can't complain about criticism when even Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's greatest, is being questioned for choosing money-driven or spectacle-based fights. If a legend like Canelo gets called out, Jake definitely isn't exempt. Smith acknowledges Jake's hustle, but he refuses to let him hide behind popularity, pay-per-view numbers, or entertainment value. Stephen A. has directly challenged Jake, saying that if he is truly serious about boxing, not just the flash, the paydays, or the hype, then he must fight real competition. Not retired athletes. Not undersized opponents. Not 40-year-olds. He needs to fight someone his own age, his own size, active in the sport, and credible in the rankings. Smith argues that Jake has been strategically picking physical mismatches to protect his image, but that won't earn him real respect. According to Stephen A., the only way Jake can prove legitimacy, test his actual skill, and show real progress is by stepping into the ring with a true peer. That's the difference between headlines and history. Jake Paul has defended himself against the constant criticism by reminding everyone that he's still new to boxing and didn't grow up in the fight game like his opponents. He leans into his entertainment background, saying, "I was on Disney Channel while these guys were already winning UFC belts." In other words, they've been fighting their whole lives while he was building a brand in show business. So, he argues it's unrealistic to expect him to start at the top of boxing overnight. Still, Jake insists he's learning fast, evolving in every camp, and is now fully committed to the sport. He points out the double standard. Everyone critiques his career from day one, yet nobody remembers who Tyson or Ali fought early on. He even reminds fans that he tried to fight Tommy Fury, a young undefeated boxer with pedigree, but claims Fury backed out with an injury. Despite his criticisms, Stephen A. Smith respects what Jake is doing for boxing. He acknowledges that Jake promotes himself better than most fighters and refuses to be controlled by traditional promoters. Smith argues that promoters have long manipulated matchmaking, held back fighters' careers, and abused power. Jake breaking through that system brings attention, money, and fresh energy into the sport, something Smith believes matters. Analysts like Terence Crawford and Teddy Atlas also admit that while Jake isn't a pure boxer yet, he has improved, invested years of training, and earned his spot. But they also warn that Tank Davis is a different animal, an elite knockout artist with explosive power and world-class instincts. The massive size gap adds danger and controversy, making this fight equal parts spectacle and risk. Some call it a circus. Others call it genius. But everyone agrees, it will be huge. Jake's star power brings in casual fans. Tank brings real boxing pedigree. It's David versus Goliath with millions watching. The criticism, however, runs deep. Hardcore fans say this fight is driven by dollars, not competition. They argue Tank abandoned his rematch with Lamont Roach, despite controversy and a contractual obligation, just to chase a $100 million payday with Jake Paul. Roach felt disrespected and robbed, and analysts believe this move proves that modern boxing now values spectacle over legacy. Even former pros admit the sport is broken, business first, belt second. Still, many fighters say, if you can get the bag, take it. Boxing won't take care of you when you're done. And that's the harsh truth. In the end, this fight might be bigger than traditional boxing itself. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis could become one of the most watched events in combat sports history, surpassing real championship bouts in global reach and attention.
Why?
Because Jake isn't just a boxer. He's an entertainer, an influencer, and a marketing powerhouse. He brings millions of casual viewers who normally never watch boxing. Combine that with Tank's reputation as one of the most vicious finishers in the sport, and you get the ultimate crossover event. Power versus precision, size versus skill, and spectacle versus tradition. Some call it a sideshow. But even the sideshow is selling out arenas and streaming worldwide. The question now is simple. Can Jake Paul's size, popularity, and momentum give him a real shot at shocking the world? Or will Gervonta Tank Davis prove once again that elite skill and knockout power always destroy the hype? Drop your predictions in the comments. Who wins, Jake Paul or Tank Davis? Will this be a real fight, or just a spectacle? If you love intense breakdowns like this, smash that subscribe button. Drop a like to support the channel. Share this video with every boxing fan you know. Because this showdown is bigger than boxing, and we're just getting started.